And good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. My guest this evening is Jim Pino Jr., who is the co-chairman of the Breast Cancer Beach Jam, which is going to be held at the Elks coming up very shortly, and we're going to talk about that for the next half hour. So we're going to welcome Jim. Jim, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Thanks for coming down. Thanks for coming down. So, Jim, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did the idea of the Breast Cancer Beach Jam come about?
Well, our band, Free Play, has been playing the Westbrook Elks Lobster Fest for the last 12 years. And, and coincidentally, it's coming up this Sunday, the Lobster Fest at the Elks Club. And 12 years ago, one of our original members, who's since retired, Skip Swift, he had an idea that we should really, this is such a great location with 200 feet of frontage on the water. I mean, it's a beautiful place if you've ever been to the Westbrook Elks Lodge. It's really a great location, and I always say there's no better place to be when you get that good weather day. It's nothing like being at the beach with live music. So we said, let's put on this jam where we could get a bunch of bands. That was really Skip's idea, and then I had a friend, Marnie Dickens, who was going through breast cancer, very aggressive breast cancer at the time, and I said, let's start this benefit for her. And when I consulted Marnie to tell her, she has a career as a nurse at Yale New Haven Hospital, and she said, listen, I have a career, and she's very, very humble person. She'd probably be upset that I'm mentioning her now. She's a very humble person, so she said, let's donate all the money to people that really need this money. So the money goes to patient care services. It really goes to help patients for things that aren't covered by insurance. It could be something as simple as parking passes or rides to treatment. You know, we even give ShopRite gift cards. We've helped patients with rent and that sort of thing at Yale New Haven Hospital. And we let all the big boys do the bigger events. They give to research and that sort of thing. But this is targeted directly to patient care services. And since the event started, a lot of our volunteers have been survivors from Middlesex. So we've opened our arms up, and we also give half of the proceeds to Middlesex Hospital as well. So Yale New Haven Smilo, which is really what this started as, has also grown. We've opened our arms to Middlesex because a lot of the elk volunteers are survivors from Middlesex as well. Yeah. And
I think from what I was doing research for an upcoming show, that Middlesex recently opened a new cancer center.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I believe so.
Yep. Both Middlesex and at the time when we first started the event, Smilo wasn't even open yet.
That's right.
And it was just opening. So it is since, and both hospitals help so many people. So that's kind of what the event is we're giving back and helping people. That's what really being an elk is all about.
Exactly.
So that's why it's grown so near and dear to us, you know.
But besides you being an elk and doing all the wonderful things you do, you're also a musician.
Well, that's great, yeah. And being a musician is really, for me, it's a release. I run a business with my brother, and music is more than a hobby and a passion for me. It's really when you're a musician, it's almost a calling, and it's a lifestyle, and you know, we're so thankful that so many bands volunteer for this event year after year, and we try to mix some new, and we try to, you know, the committee that picks the bands tries to pick from different genres, whether it be we've got some country, bluegrass, rock and roll music, and soul, funk, and blues. You know, we try to hit every sort of genre that would be fitting on a beach location. So we've got a great lineup this year, and we're very thankful, and we feel blessed. And it kind of, you know, each component of this event motivates the other component, because we're really all volunteers. So it's nice when we all come together and push each other, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And how hard is it to choose the different, well, different musical lineups every year? Because obviously you don't want the same lineup year after year after year. You want to sort of freshen everything up every once in a while.
Well, it's funny. We give, in this event, you know, like I say, it's a 100% volunteer event. So we're not, none of the musicians are paid. So we give preference kind of to elk members, and a lot of the bands are elks, and so we try to rotate them around, and there are some repeat bands, but we try to bring in some new ones. I know this year the Mix is a new band that we brought in this year that's broken into the lineup, and for example, and they're kind of a classic rock, and they're coming in right before, and we have Chaz from Chaz and AJ coming back from WPLR, so it'll be fitting. We're going to have them. They're doing some classic rock tunes during the program part, and also that's an example of a new band. While an older band, they missed it last year, but we brought them back. Is Cross-Eyed Cat, and they're Waterbury Elks, and they do a phenomenal job. They do events every year for Children's Hospital up in Hartford. So and I've volunteered and sat in with them at their event, and they graciously come. They want to play this event year after year because they feel the passion in it, and it's a great day on the beach. And they also sell a lot of tickets. They bring a lot of Waterbury people out for the day, and they're fantastic musicians. Friends with Mike Lapatino, and they're on WPLR Wig Out a lot. So they're kind of in this whole family of elk and musical. You know, they're very generous in their time and talent. So so we're happy to have them back. You know.
And tell us about your band.
Well, Free Play. It's a funny story. The band really started, back in 2006 or so. Skip Swift, really, who started the band up in Killingworth, and I had just come out of a divorce, and I wanted to get back into music. My story's a long one, but I went to an open mic up at June's Outback, and I met Skip there, and we got talking, and we were thinking of a name for a band, and Skip was booking these corporate gigs, which was the idea of starting this powerful party band, and he had all these bookings, and he had the old Free Play poster from an old band, and that's what he started booking us as. And then we also we became wireless, you know, so we walk around free, you know, so that was how the band name kind of evolved. And we were doing a lot of events where we were donating our time for free. But then over time the band evolved, and really the only two original members, well, there's three, are me and Joe Podsiadlo. Eric Highland, who's a new father, he's been taking some gigs off, but we've brought in, since our bass player Eddie, his kids got heavy into Little League, so he left first, and we brought in Jerry Langley, who's a professional bass player, just a world-class musician. And when Skip's business took off and he had to step down for a while, we brought in John Henry Langley, so we've got the Langley brothers who've played together for 42 years, and I mean, they're world-class musicians from the New Haven area, playing with the Drifters, the Coasters, the Five Satins, some real old-school guys, but they're just pros, and we're blessed, and they've become part of the Free Play family. They are the Free Play family now, along with me, Joey Pods, and Eric when we could get them, and we're, you know, Mike Savino, who plays with Del Perez, you know, they're local Shoreline guys, and they've also played with Free Play. So Free Play's become a family of musicians that's evolved over the years. But we've been firing on all cylinders with the Langley brothers, what they bring, and it's just been a great time. And we come together, and we feel so blessed to be playing together, and focusing on bigger corporate events and weddings and stuff like that as well. That's really how our band evolved. And with the Beach Jam, it kind of, you know, over the years, it's hard to believe we're in our 10th year.
I know.
And, you know, myself and all the volunteers that captain their chairs were say, hey, maybe let's do it one more year. Let's do it one more year. We've been saying it since the 5th year, and we just keep stepping up and picking each other up and bringing it together year after year, Pete. You know, so it's a special event. It is.
Now, being a Shoreline guy myself, I've heard the name of Del Perez, but I've never heard him play.
Del Perez is a phenomenal musician, bass player and guitar player, and a great singer. But yeah, I'm surprised he's played, you know, all over the Shoreline with many bands. Just a great guy too. And Mike Savino the same way. They play in several different bands, duos, trios. They fill in and they play with us at times, and they'll be there. They're automatic. They step up without question, and the two of them come and play every year, and just two heart and soul musicians. I can't say enough about them.
Exactly. You know? So let's talk a little bit about when, where, what time.
Okay.
When's the event?
The event is August.
Minor
let me get
details.
it right. I have my cheat sheet.
Yeah,
it's Saturday. It's Saturday, August 11th this year, and we're trying to lock it into the second Saturday of every August. That's what our target is. But it's Saturday, August 11th, from 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and you know, you know, the tickets are $25 in advance. You could purchase them on PayPal at breastcancerbeachjam.com. We have a website up where you can purchase tickets in advance, and they'll be $30 at the door. Donahue's in Madison, where Free Play plays a half a dozen times a year.
Exactly.
They're big supporters of live music, and CD Chris Donahue just does a wonderful job there promoting live music, and it's a great restaurant, great local restaurant in Madison. Yes. And he's selling tickets for us as well, so there's tickets on sale at Donahue's in Madison. We appreciate him doing that.
Definitely.
With all the different bands, it's really a great event, and it's kid-friendly.
Actually, you know what? We're going to talk about kid-friendly coming back.
All right, very good.
We'll be right back.
All right.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, butt in the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep
pedaling. Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
And welcome back good evening, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. Sitting here with Jim Pino from the Breast Cancer Beach Jam at the Elks. Jim, welcome.
Yes,
welcome back.
Thank you, Pete.
Not
Thanks.
a problem. Not a problem.
Back.
It is good to be back.
Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit about in the first segment about the event, and the bands.
Yeah.
But let's open up this segment talking about Jim Pino Jr.'s and his musical idols growing up. What'd you listen to? Who'd you look up to?
Oh, geez, yeah. Well, listen, there's so many idols listening to, but I grew up listening to WPLR, classic rock kind of stuff. And even you talked about Bruce Barber. You're friends with him, and Smith and Barber. And now Chaz and AJ are always on my radio. But, you know, I became a fan of Clarence Clemens with Bruce Springsteen, you know, Bruce's sax player, and Clarence Clemens' influence was King Curtis, and I studied a lot of King Curtis's stuff and the funk and soul that he does. But I have so many different, too many idols to name, and I'd have to mention Maceo Parker, who's James Brown's sax player, who's one of my idols too growing up. But that could go into hours on its own. but you know, I think listening is listening to different music really shapes a person, whether he's a musician or not. You know, it comes into music is such a powerful force that becomes ingrained in all of us, and then to be a performer as well. It's a special thing when you're connecting with other musicians on stage. It's an unexplainable thing, really. But and it's almost becomes an addiction. You know,
right,
you want to play and you want to get out there and you want to meet new musicians and play with different musicians, and that's kind of what makes this event so special. We're bringing in so many different musicians volunteering their time to help patients in need, and I say on each interview that it's a no-brainer. It's a win-win for everybody involved.
It is
with the event, you know.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
And to talk more about it, it is a rain or shine event. We have weather tents up there.
Okay.
So you know, we do sell a good amount of tickets ahead of time, but you know, in the summertime, there's so much to do in Connecticut.
Oh,
we're
absolutely.
So thankful for people that come out, and a lot of times when they predict rain, people may back off from the event, but we do have weather tents up, and so we could fit everybody underneath. And you've got the beach, and you've got we have a wonderful silent auction as well. That Cindy runs the silent auction. Bernadette, I have a list of.
Yeah, go.
And now my phone locked up, but
oh no,
I've got to give a shout out to Cindy and Bernadette and Deb in the silent auction. Lori Davis at the 50/50, Paula at the beer truck, Denise. Janelle Schofield, Mike Servich in parking, of course Ray Smith in security. Ray says, don't ask me to help again, and I ask him year after year, and he steps up. But it's people like that, Melissa Univer, Joanne in merchandising, and I know I'm going to miss somebody, but Sharon, Jello Shots, Melody Baker, who's also been phenomenal bringing some silent auction items. John Rhoda, who brings some great sponsors to the table and some silent auction items. Kenny and Lonnie Grant. Lonnie's a two-time cancer survivor that's back and helps every year. I mean, it's just a special thing. And I have to mention Carolyn Valley and, of course, Nancy Malafronte, who stepped up as a co-chair this year. And Carolyn has also been a co-chair the past few years.
I was going to say your co-chair, is that the one that you were talking about tonight who couldn't be with us?
Nancy mixed up the dates.
Oh,
Nancy,
no.
but that's okay. She's on family vacation.
That's
but,
okay.
You know, I always say, you know, people have asked me too, how do you get this event going? But I think that, you know, you can never criticize people volunteering. Nobody is hired here. So
no.
I whenever anyone says, I'm sorry, I couldn't make it, or I couldn't do it, I never accept their apology. I'm thankful for what you could give as a volunteer, because and that's the real key to volunteer events. You know, it's people giving what they can. You know, everyone has their lives and everything else, and I think that's what makes this event so special and powerful. Is there's no hired event people. It's just 100% volunteer.
You're all volunteers. But you love doing what you do.
Well,
that's why you do it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, part of the reason Free Play started was to give back and to help some with events like this, and we really shifted our focus to this, and we do other benefits as well throughout the year. But this is the big one that we run, and you know, we've become proud of it and proud to be Elk members, and we're thankful that the Elks step up year after year and help us out with it. You know?
Exactly. And the venue's always the same. You're always at the Elks. And
yeah, we've talked about moving it before, and we've looked at, because it was growing, but it is a growing event, and bringing in more bands and bringing in bigger sponsors and at a bigger location. We've explored that, but it. You know, like I say, with all volunteers, it's tough to get that going. Something gets in the way with your business or with raising kids or whatever. So it's we kind of push each other year after year, and we've been keeping it at the Elks thus far. You know, so. Now,
over the last 10 years, has the weather always been nice?
Well, Pete, I got to tell you, that's a great question. The first year it poured and rained on us, and but we still were able to raise about $4,600, you know.
All right.
And in the peak, our biggest year was about 3 years ago. We raised $58,000, you know. But it's a funny question, because even at all the volunteer meetings, I always start saying pray for good weather, because even last year they were expecting rain, and it turned out to be a nice day, so attendance was a little down because they thought it was going to rain. But so I'll remind everybody that it is rain or shine, and it is kid friendly. Kids under 12 are free, so you don't need to get a babysitter. We encourage you to come out, and there's always, you know, we've had face painting in the past, and there's beach ball and volleyball on the beach, different events, and you've got a beautiful a beach out there in front of the Elks Club that's totally second to none. A great location.
It's beautiful.
We got food trucks this year. The Elks also has their full menu open, and then the food trucks will come in later at night. So that's something different that we're adding this year. We've got the Elks have drink specials year after year. They donate some of the money to the event on the drink special, but there is a full bar and a full menu. And I'll say it again, as I said in the earlier segment, the silent auction is fantastic this year, and we've even Melody has gotten a hold of. You know, we're going to have Mets tickets, Yankee tickets, Patriots, you know, stuff like that, and we have pictures and jewelry and all kinds of. So the silent auction alone is an event in itself, and
come buy tickets.
Yeah, that's it.
Come buy tickets.
Just for that alone, it's there's some great things at the silent auction.
Exactly.
So it's really a good time. It's really a good time for everybody.
A great time.
Yeah.
It's like a great time, and we've got speaking of time, we've got a little bit more time left. So before we say goodnight, let's go over minor details one more time.
Yes. Okay.
When, where, and what time?
It's August 11th, Saturday, August 11th, at the Westbrook Elks Club on. Is it Seaside Avenue?
That
in
is
Westbrook?
Seaside Avenue.
Okay, 142 Seaside Avenue. Yep. Tickets are $25 in advance. You could buy them on PayPal on our website at breastcancerbeachjam.com.
Okay.
They're $30 at the door, so you could save $5 if you buy them in advance.
Right.
We encourage that. Children under 12 are free. I'll talk about the bands. I've talked enough about free play, and we've evolved into this funk soul party band. We like to say it's never the same show twice. We never play the song the same twice. They stretch and groove, and we kind of get breathing with the crowd when we're playing. We're bringing in the mix. They're a new band, classic rock, high energy band from Stratford, Connecticut.
All right.
Cross-Eyed Cat I talked about out of Waterbury. Can't say enough about those guys. They're great Elks, and they do more classic blues kind of stuff. Stevie Ray Vaughan, ZZ Top kind of stuff. Four Barrel Billy is Four Barrel Billy. Everybody around here knows.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're rockabilly type surf rock. They're crazy with the upright bass and everything else. It's a great band. Chris McKay and the Tone Shifters. This is their second year doing it for us, and they're bluegrass accordion player, high energy rock, and they even do some originals. Great band. We're happy to have them back. Mike and the Muffin Tops are a great party rock band, phenomenal. Heather Lee is a singer, and Mike Minio, the drummer, and all the members of the band are fantastic, high energy cover band. And Brandon is a little bit of a country flair, high energy country rock band. And then of course I talked about Del Perez and Mike Savino. Just they can do it all, those two guys, So. Are we running out of time? We got more time. We're doing good.
Okay. We're doing great.
All right, good.
We're doing great. We've got a little bit more time left. So before we say goodnight, what else?
Well, what else? I'd like to say that on behalf of Nancy and Carolyn and myself, we want to thank really the Elk volunteers that step up year after year. It's really a great event, and it's great to be a Westbrook Elk as well.
It is.
I am, and this is something that kind of brings us together. And I'll give a shout out that we are playing the Lobster Fest at the Westbrook Elks.
That's right.
This Sunday.
This weekend.
And free play will be at Donahue's Friday night. Friday, February 13th, Friday the 13th, we're at Donahu's.
You mean June 13th?
Or did I say June? No.
You said
February. Did I?
You said
July.
February.
Friday,
13th.
July 13th.
July 13th.
I'm thinking of my birthday month. Yeah, July 13th. It's TV. I get a little nervous.
That's okay.
So it's July 13th. which is this Friday. We'll
Right.
be at Donahue's selling Beach Jam tickets. Donahue's are
Hanging out.
selling them up until the event.
Nice.
And then Sunday, the Lobster Fest at the Elks.
Nice.
And the event, of course, is Saturday, August 11th.
Yes.
So it's going to be a great time.
It is. It's going to be a
Yeah,
great time.
100%. So look forward to seeing you there. You know?
Yeah, and you guys are great with the community. You guys seem like, yes, you're all volunteers, but you give a lot back to the community.
It is. It's been a blessing being a part of this band, and what Skip set us out to do was to kind of, have some fun, make a few bucks, but give back to the community. I mean, that's kind of what we're all about too. So it's, but we're helping cancer patients with items that aren't covered by insurance to help comfort and care them, which is really what it's all about. And the volunteers that come together, a lot of them are survivors, and we're all touched by this terrible disease, and we want to try to comfort the people that are going through the treatment. So that's really why we do it. Yeah.
Exactly. Before we run out of time, I want to thank you for coming down, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Pete. I hope so. Thanks for having me.
Not a
yeah,
problem.
Appreciate
Keep in
it. Appreciate
touch.
it. Yep, great
On behalf
show.
of Jim Pino, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks. Good night, and we'll see you next time.